If there's a suburb in the Oklahoma City metro that can make a person feel like they're stepping back in time, it might just be Piedmont, okay? However, there are a lot of people moving to this small community. So the question is Piedmont right for you? Just 25 miles northwest of downtown Oklahoma City, Piedmont is a pretty simple place. There is a grocery store, and in true small town fashion, there's a hardware store along the main road. And believe it or not, there is not a single stoplight in town. One of the tallest buildings in town is the Baptist Church. And there are a few gas stations, fast food restaurants, and of course, antique stores like Junklahoma, which is where I'm at right now. In fact, Piedmont is so small and quaint, it's still the type of place where if you're walking along First Street, you can still buy a soda for less than $1. The population is just over 8,500, and there might be more cows in Piedmont than actual people. Now, for some people, this little slice of Americana might just be what you're looking for if you're thinking about making a move to the Oklahoma City metro. However, for some of you guys, this is an automatic no. I'm already moving to Oklahoma. There's no way in hell I'm moving to small town Oklahoma. In fact, you've probably already minimized this video and you're just scrolling through trying to find that video I did on Edmond last week. So before you click away to this video, trust me, there's more to Piedmont than you think. And to prove it, okay, you gotta ask yourself this one question. How does a town of only 8,500 people have a high school and an athletic facility that looks like this? There's more to Piedmont than what you think and what Google is telling you. And it's not just the high school. Almost every school in Piedmont looks like it's in a major metropolitan area. And that's because, well, it is. Although Piedmont is 25 miles from downtown, it's actually just an extension of Northwest Oklahoma City. In fact, a lot of kids who go to Piedmont schools actually live in Northwest Oklahoma City. And I explain this in a lot of my videos. Look, 100 years ago, a lot of Northwest Oklahoma City was all farmland, okay? And it was too far west for Oklahoma City public schools to cover. So a lot of the kids were able to go to local school districts, and Piedmont was one of them. 100 years later, those district lines still exist. So there are a lot of kids who live in Northwest Oklahoma City that go to Piedmont schools. And getting your kids in the best school district, no matter where you live, is extremely important, especially though in Oklahoma. Look, Oklahoma's like 47th in education nationally. However, the schools in the suburbs, the Edmonds, the Yukons, the Mustangs, the Deer Creeks, the Piedmonts are all A-rated according to national websites like niche.com. So again, people in Oklahoma want to get their kids in the best districts, okay? And Piedmont is one of them. And I try to explain this to a lot of my out-of-state clients. You don't have to technically live in Piedmont for your kids to go to Piedmont schools. So when a realtor around here says, hey, what about Piedmont? They're not just talking about Piedmont proper, they're actually talking about Piedmont public schools, okay? So if you move in this area, you're gonna have a choice. Do you wanna live in a small town, or do you wanna live maybe in Northwest Oklahoma City where you're gonna be closer to all the action? So if you don't wanna live in a small town, you don't have to, but you can still take advantage of the schools. And this is why I encourage people to call me, okay? Because there are a lot of little nuances about living in Oklahoma City that you're gonna miss. And what ends up happening is that you move here, all right? And you would have much rather been in an area that maybe would have fed into Piedmont schools, but again, you avoided it because you just didn't know. And one of the things that you should do when you're thinking about moving to Oklahoma City is, one, call me, but two, search by school district. Do not search by city proper. And since we're on the topic, let's talk about homes here in Piedmont. Look, the average cost of a home in this area is going to be $325,000 according to Zillow. Okay. However, you can buy some homes from an economical builder such as Lennar, LGI, or even Roush Coleman, and you can pay somewhere between $205,000 to $275,000 from a builder like that. And if new construction is what you are after in Piedmont, I have done multiple model home tours in neighborhoods such as Bison Creek with Ideal Homes. I've also done some in Nichols Creek, which is going to be an addition that's pretty much all Tabor. And I've also done some in Montereau, which is where I'm at right now. I've also done a $1 million home in Piedmont with Cosmopolitan Construction. So if you're looking for a new home in the Piedmont area, I mean, they're going to be all the way from $200,000 to $1 million. And if you want to see anything from those price points, again, just log on to my page. And like I said earlier in this video, Piedmont is pretty much broken up into two sections. There is Piedmont proper, and then there is Northwest Oklahoma City. And let's focus on that right now. Look, the main reason why people want to live, in Northwest Oklahoma City versus Piedmont proper is location. They're going to be minutes from the Kilpatrick Turnpike. And when you're minutes from the Kilpatrick Turnpike, you are minutes away from everything. If you want restaurants, you want bars, you want shopping, you want activities. Once you get on the Kilpatrick Turnpike from this area, you can probably get there in 5 to 7 minutes. The Coral Springs Mall is going to be right along the Kilpatrick Turnpike. You're gonna have places like iFly, Top Golf. There's gonna be so many places and so many things that you can do when you get in that area. And if you live in neighborhoods like this, you're probably 10 to 15 minutes away from all those activities. And a lot of these neighborhoods are gonna have parks, playgrounds, pools, and some are even gonna have walking trails, even a pond. If you live in Northwest Oklahoma City, do you have to actually take your kids to Piedmont for them to go to school? Yes and no. Elementary school? No. Piedmont has multiple elementary schools, and several of them are gonna be in this Northwest Oklahoma City area. So if you live out here, you don't have to take your kids into Piedmont, okay? If they're in middle school, high school, then yes, they're gonna have to go to Piedmont. And of course, neighborhoods like this are pretty big, so your kids, even though they're in high school and middle school, they're still gonna be able to take the bus home. So it's not like you have to really go pick them up, unless you're just one of those parents that like picking your kid up. You're also gonna be closer to more outdoor space, such as Martin Nature Park, which is where I'm at right now. There's also going to be Bluff Creek if you're someone that's into mountain biking. And of course, there's going to be Lake Hefner, which is a very popular spot in Northwest Oklahoma City, okay? At Lake Hefner, you're going to have biking, fishing, boating, and of course, 36 holes of golf. And if golf's your thing, there's also going to be Surrey Hills. But in all honesty, Surrey Hills is going to be close to both Piedmont proper and the people that live in Northwest Oklahoma City. So why would a lot of people want to live in Piedmont proper? One of the big reasons why people would want to live in Piedmont proper is because they simply want that good old small town feel. I mean, and that's what Piedmont definitely offers you if you move out this way. Another big thing is going to be space. There are a lot of lots in Piedmont that you can get. They're going to be half acre, full acre, quarter acre. So if you're someone that wants a lot that's going to be a little bit bigger than the average lot, then Piedmont's going to offer you that. You can still find plenty of new homes and older homes that are going to give you that. Another big thing is HOAs. Piedmont is the type of community where a lot of these neighborhoods don't have an HOA, or a lot of these neighborhoods are gonna have a very lax HOA, okay? And when you don't have an HOA, or you have very lax HOAs, you can do a lot of the cool things that you really wanna do. So if you're a person that wants to put a metal shop in your backyard, because you're someone that's into wood crafting, or you're a mechanic, or someone that owns your own plumbing business and you need a place to store your fleet vehicles, then Piedmont's gonna offer you that. If you're someone that, wants to, breed dogs, or if you're someone that wants a goat or chickens or bees or whatever the case may be, a lot of times when you're living in a place like Piedmont, they're gonna allow you to do those types of things. And this is why living, closer to Piedmont, or kind of living in the county, it can offer you a lot of flexibility. And another good thing about Piedmont is because it's so small, it's one of those rare communities where kids can still, hop on their bikes at maybe 10 o'clock in the morning, and you might not see them until, 5 o'clock in the evening, maybe even later. It's a good chance that you're gonna know a lot of the people in town, and you can almost figure out where your kid is without you even calling them. It's how a lot of us grew up in the, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know what I mean? We just pretty much ripped around our communities all day. And Piedmont is small enough where kids can still do that. And believe it or not, Piedmont has an outstanding city park that has everything from a splash pad to a playground that is basically the size of a miniature town with train station and all. And it also has a workout area for seniors. There's also shuffleboard and of course basketball and volleyball. And even though you have your freedom to pretty much do whatever you want to do on your land in Piedmont, for some people, living in this small community could still make them feel like they're being held captive because, again, in Piedmont, not a lot of restaurants, not a lot of shopping. But let's make something clear. Living in Piedmont is not like living in like Antarctica or some remote town in Montana, okay? This isn't Yellowstone now. In fact, if you just go 5 miles south from downtown Piedmont, you're gonna run into Northwest Expressway. And on Northwest Expressway and Piedmont Road, you're gonna have a McDonald's, a Wendy's, a Brahms. And if you take Northwest Expressway east about 5 miles, 6 miles, you're gonna run into everything that you would want. It's gonna be a miniature version of that Memorial and Penn area. You're gonna have, Super Target, you're gonna have a Walmart, you're gonna have a Sam's Club, you're gonna have a Kohl's, you're gonna have, I would say about 30, 40 restaurants. And Expressway will also take you to the entrance of the Kilpatrick Turnpike. So if you do want to go to that Coral Springs Mall area, Chisholm Creek, you can do that as well. And in my opinion, from Piedmont proper to that Memorial and Penn or Chisholm Creek, Coral Springs Mall area, I would say it's probably going to take you around 15 to 20 minutes to get there. Possibly 25 if you live really deep in Piedmont. In fact, Piedmont is really great for people who have married an Okie and they're trying to convince you to move to Oklahoma, okay? It's a great compromise because a lot of times when people want to move back to Oklahoma, this is what they're after. They're after small town, they want maybe a little bit of land. You can get all that in Piedmont. However, you can also be wherever you want to be in 20, 25 minutes once you leave Piedmont. I mean, heck, you can get to the airport in 35, 40 minutes, maybe even less than that, depending on what time your flight is, okay? So even though there is a small town vibe here in Piedmont, if you are someone that didn't grow up in a small town and you're really not interested in small town, then you can kind of move to Piedmont, but again, you're close to everything. You're 15, 20 minutes away. And you got to think, hey, if you were in a major city like LA or San Diego, the reality is if you want to go to the mall, if you want to go someplace, it was probably going to take you 10 to 15 minutes anyway. The drive just looks different, but the time is the same. Now, what about crime? Look, according to crimegrades.org, Piedmont is an extremely safe place to be. I think their rating is an A+, okay? With that being said, you're still gonna have, small town problems. No place is perfect. Another thing though too is you gotta watch out is speeding because they'll pop you. You roll a stop sign, they'll pop you. So again, if you're gonna be in Piedmont, that's something to be careful about. So last but not least, what about the people of Piedmont? Look, it's a mixed bag. If you're talking about the people that live in the Northwest Oklahoma City section of Piedmont schools, then you're gonna get the same type of people that's gonna be in Edmond, the same type of people that live in Deer Creek. I mean, it's pretty much gonna be that crowd. Now, so the people that live in Piedmont proper, they pretty much are after small town vibe, but they also want a place that's still connected to the Oklahoma City Metro, and they want a little bit of land. And most importantly, they want great schools, and that's what Piedmont offers. You know, it's pretty much what most people really want. They just don't mind maybe living a little bit more off the beaten path, you know, or they just want a little bit more space than the average person does. As far as diversity goes, look, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but in all honesty, I don't live too far from Piedmont. And I go to church and I hang out with a lot of people that look like me and don't look like me, and they live in Piedmont. All in all, Piedmont is a welcoming place. You know, no matter who you are or no matter where you're coming from, you're gonna be all right in Piedmont. So hey, if you need more information on Piedmont, make sure you shoot me a text or give me a call. Or after watching this video, you're still like, no. You know, go ahead, click on my channel, watch my video on the best suburbs in the Oklahoma City metro area, or watch the one I just did on Edmond. If Piedmont's not your speed, Edmond's gonna be what you're looking for probably. So go ahead, still, give me a call, shoot me a text. If not, I'll see you on the next video.